Hello and welcome to Friday Flowers. Today we're going to do a flower called Bichorn. It's a lot of fun to draw. So the first step that we need to do is we're going to draw kind of like a flux shape. So like a kind of like a teardrop. But we don't want it to be too big, but we also don't want it to be too small, right? Like Goldilocks. Just right. Okay. And then we're going to put these fluxes over here like that. And then we're going to put orbs on the bottom. So we have a large one followed by two smaller ones. And the same thing on the other side. All right. And so now we're going to aura. And so the step outs for this one it's a little different. So when we aura, we're going to aura from this corner right here and go down to right over here, okay? So like that, okay? But when we aura this side, we're actually going to go down to the second one instead. And sometimes you might find that it's okay. It's actually easier to go this way when it's a different direction. So I'm actually gonna do that. Well, no, I won't do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that because my curve right here is kind of wonky. So I want to make sure that I follow it nice like that. Okay. So that is basically Bichorn. That is basically Bichorn. So, okay, what are we going to do to decorate it, right? Well, I thought there's a couple of things we could do. But what I thought is that I wanted to just put in some stripes. Just two sets. And put in a highlight. And then mixing the decorations of fracas, which is kind of this, and droop, that was kind of my idea, is I was going to put some flicks down. So. I'm gonna leave that. Okay. So, actually, I feel like I should put a smaller one up here. Get some flicks in there. Okay. So now the stem for Bichorn is a little weird, but that's okay. I'm gonna draw part of it in. So what we do is draw a line and then draw a couple of circles. So, and then we draw the stem again, and then what we're gonna do is kind of shoot off, okay? Shoot off a little, make another circle, and then shoot off a tiny bit. And then we're gonna make a mini kind of bicorn. So this is like the flower that's not all the way grown. So we will make that little teardrop and put in some tiny fescues. And then I'm gonna put a couple of flicks in there. There we go. And then we can continue on with our stem. Doing its little thing. And so I think that it needs probably a couple more friends. So I'm going to come off of this part of the stem. Make a little circle. Okay, so that is basically how you do bicorn. And the stem is just a series of different circles and lines. So let's get to shading. And I am going to at first shade up here. And then kind of down here. And then I'm going to put some graphite right here, right on the edge of that. You got to be a little careful when you're using the tortilla on something like this, is that I do want to shade it, but I don't want to necessarily get it on that white. So you just got to be a little bit gentle. And I don't want to shade very far down. I just want to kind of darken that area. All right, and now let's put in a frame for this really cute bicorn here. I'm going to draw it in with my pencil first. So do you think this is a fun flower to draw? All right, and now I'm going to ink this in with my pen. And there is Bichorn.